Sabrina. Going back to American restrictions on Ukraine's weapon usage, you say that the prime targets inside Russia are outside the range of ATACMS.
Yeah.
So then what's the purpose of these restrictions being in place? Is this to protect the Ukrainians from themselves, from you think they would otherwise squander their limited ATACMS? Or is it a fear of escalation, or can you explain what the thinking is there?
Yeah, Matt, I think it's a little bit of all of those things. I think the Ukrainians, in terms of their own decision making, they have proven themselves on the battlefield just from at the very beginning of the war. I think there were many people reporting at the time that Kyiv was destined to fall within days, and then it was weeks later, months later, and now we're talking many years into this war. We've seen the prowess of the Ukrainian military on the battlefield. So they certainly know how to make their own decisions when it comes to employing these types of weapons and munitions on the battlefield. There is a limited number of ATACMS. It is not there is not an abundance of these long range type of capabilities. And of course, one thing that we're always assessing is escalation, and that's something that we've been very clear about from the beginning. So it's a bit of all of those things knitted together, but they have been very successful in using these ATACMS to take back their territory in the south and the east. And we believe that they have the capabilities and being able to knit those together on the battlefield. They do have a really significant challenge in the east, and being able to direct some of the firepower that they have that direction is what we continue to work with them on.
Will the idea of loosening restrictions possibly come up in tomorrow's contact group talks?
I can't predict the future. I'm sure, there's been a lot of conversations about that, but right now there's no change to U.S. policy.
Thank you.
Yeah, Noah.
I'm sorry if I missed this, but the posture changes from Russia to move its assets for glide bombs beyond the 300-kilometer range, was that made after May when the initial restrictions were loosened for Ukraine from the U.S.? When did that occur?
I don't know when they started moving that, but all I can tell you is that we know that there have been airfields positioned outside of the ATACMS range.